Okay, everybody, here we go. It's me, Gregory Mannarino, Wednesday, March 20th, 2024. This is my pre-market report. Today, the big show is going to be, well, the Federal Reserve, or what comes out of its mouth. It is a thing, it is a puke, it is a vomitous mass, and it is the enemy. And I'm talking about Jay Powell, the Fed chair at this time. Anyway, look, I want you to do something or not do something. All right, what am I talking about? Ignore every single syllable, utterance, or noise that comes out of its mouth today. Look, it's astonishing to me that the world has to sit back, you and me included, and hinge on whatever this creature says today. These things, they run the freaking world, okay? I know some of you are still fixated on presidents, kings, queens, monarchs, or dictators. They do not run a damn thing. It's the central banks, and you all know that. Anyway, so yes, we're going to hear from the Federal Reserve today on monetary policy. And I'm going to give you a big clue here as to what's going to happen. Nothing. The Federal Reserve isn't going to do a damn thing today, although we're going to hear it speak. All the scripted questions and the looking down at the notes. Okay, who's going to ask which question or whatever. 99% of this is submitted in advance. The Fed chair cannot be made to look like an idiot. And look, you get it. All of you. Look, I'm preaching to the choir here. If you follow this blog, I get it. But anyway, like I said, just ignore whatever comes out of its mouth because it's all propaganda. Now, on the economic front, imagine my shock, imagine your shock here. What do we find out? Home affordability yet again hits another all-time low. People are being destroyed by that thing that's going to talk today. Again, monetary policy dictates how the world runs. And these private institutions, this particular one, no more federal than Federal Express, okay, controls the economy. They control the financial system. They control the financial markets. They basically dictate our lives to us. We have to live under their rulership, and we cannot be free if, unfortunately, we're forced to live in their system. It's a pretty sick thing. Anyway, let's look over at the markets this morning. If you look at the Dixie or the dollar on a relative strength basis, it's above 104. There is a little bit of a knee-jerk here. This is trepidation, fear of what may or may not come out of its mouth later. Again, it's all nonsense to me. I know and you know that the Fed is on a fixed path. We know what they're going to do moving forward. We know why. You see, no one's going to tell you this. None of our politicians are going to tell you this. No one running for president is going to tell you this, that the Fed is on a mission to destroy the nation, okay? You may hear a lot of talk back and forth between factions running, should I say, trying to fool you into who's actually controlling the system here, and pointing fingers at why these people are bad and why these people are bad and they're not going to do anything good for you, but I am. Blah, blah. It's all nonsense, okay? It's all nonsense. When you understand who runs the system, it should be clear to you what's going on here, and it's the central banks. No one's going to tell you that. Unfortunately, it's a pretty sad state of affairs that we are in right now. We have no voice. We have nothing. It's every man and every woman for themselves, and you all know that. But we're taking the right steps, people. Nobody, and one more time, nobody is further ahead of the curve than you and I on what's happening here. We know what's going on. We know what to do about it, and we are taking action. Again, this channel is not for people who want to sit back and suck their freaking thumbs, all right? This is a channel for people who are taking in the situation, understanding what's going on to a very high level, and then doing something about it, betting against the debt, becoming our own central bank, not allowing ourselves to become enslaved more so than we already have to be by the current system. We are looking to capitalize on this. We are looking to turn the tables and weaponize the system against those that are trying to destroy us, and that's exactly what they're trying to do. And we haven't seen anything yet, people. We haven't seen anything yet here where this is going. You want to talk about a bloodbath? That word is pissing off a lot of Trump followers. It's like they turned into Karens or whatever. You say bloodbath, and they go into a little tantrum here. Okay, the man's trying to tell the truth that the system is already in a bloodbath on an economic meltdown. That's what we're in right now, and it's going to get a lot worse here. But no, it's only about the auto industry, right? Duh. You can't make this shit up, man. But again, it's astonishing. But whatever. What would you expect where people don't know which bathroom to use in this country anymore? It's just reached such a state of ridiculousness. Anyway, looking over at the market as I was trying to do here, dollar knee-jerk higher today. There's a little fear, as I said. 10-year yield slightly lower than yesterday. Okay, the market is kind of taking this in. Again, there's this tug of war going on right now between whether or not the Fed is going to cut rates, and they are. Okay, I'm telling you right now. You know that already. And you know why. They already got the economy by the throat. They got the consumer by the throat, and they're looking for yet another avenue to inflate. What better way to do that than to cut rates? Because again, how does the central bank do it? They don't just say, hey, you know what, we're going to cut rates. To do that, they're going to create vast amounts of cash out of nothing. And then they're going to get in here and buy the debt. It's amazing. But you see, no one's going to tell you how massively inflationary that is either. It's massively inflationary. You can't just create vast amounts of cash out of nothing and expect there not to be a ripple effect. But you see, you're not supposed to know that either. No one's going to tell you that. No one's going to tell you that. No politician, no central banker, and certainly no one running for president. You must be kept in the indoctrinated state that they want you in. It's kind of crazy here. But the market seems to be shrugging everything off. I mean, yesterday, look, we got a new record high for the S&P 500 despite, again, home affordability at a record low, inflation continuing to rise, factory activity in the biggest contraction. We've never seen this before in the history of the world. That's the truth. And with every single forward-looking economic indicator in the toilet pointing towards things getting worse from where we are now. Now, speaking about that, look, last two videos I did, at least I got some people thinking, all right, about the banking system. I've been talking about this for a long, long time right now. Greg, which banks? What about this? What about that? I already told you what to do. If you did not see my post-market video yesterday, you got to be a little bit sneaky, maybe, to try to gather information. Information is critical. I told you how to get it, okay? Watch the video that I did yesterday, my post-market. It'll clue you in as what you may need to do. Now, I've been talking about Bank of America for quite a long time. One of the super banks here. Now, I want to just show you something, okay? I believe we are going to see at least one major bank fail. And I still say the potential here is Bank of America. Why Bank of America? First of all, this is a chart. This is a 3-year chart of Bank of America, all the way at the bottom rung. I circled it for you, and their peers. All right, they've been underperforming for quite a long time. All right. Now, we don't know, as you are well aware of, these major institutions here, you have to understand, they're in the same boat as the smaller institutions with regard to bad bets, and you and I are going to be forced to bail out these major institutions, but they're going to sacrifice one, like they did last time with Lehman. History may not exactly repeat itself, but it tends to rhyme. So if you look here at, again, this chart I have for you, and you see the underperformance here of Bank of America, it's kind of symbolic too, as the name Bank of America. So that's why I'd be willing to bet that's the one that's going to fail. If one is to fail, and I think there's a high probability, they got to create a sacrificial lamb. Oh, look, everyone, we allowed this institution to fail, so you're okay. But guess what? You're on the hook for a lot of cash, and you're going to bail out the rest of these institutions. So that's what's going to happen here. But again, the same issues: no loans, no deals, no deposits. That it's hitting these smaller banks that you and I called out before anybody else. Big banks are in the same boat. So what they're doing here by consolidating the system, they're going to allow the larger institutions to buy these assets from the smaller institutions for pennies on the dollar. And then you got this black hole of commercial real estate, which we haven't even begun to deal with. And of course, it's going to get sucked right out of you because that's the way it always is. You know that. But they're going to sacrifice one institution. My best bet would be this one, Bank of America here. All right, so I've covered this before, but I want to just, again, with all of the unbelievable amount of emails and questions I've gotten with regard to banks and the banking system as of late, that you're paying attention. I can't tell you how happy that makes me to see you people out here paying attention to what's going on. When I get, and people a lot of times they say to me, hey Greg, I have to ask you a dumb question. No questions are dumb. The only questions that are dumb are ones that are not asked. You understand? No one knows everything here. It's impossible. So no matter how, if you want to ask a question about anything for anybody, don't say I have to ask a dumb question, because no questions are dumb at all, ever. Okay? No one knows everything, and if anyone thinks they do, they're generally the stupidest person in the room. All right, people, look, I covered a lot here with you. Let's see what happens today with the freak show, and I mean freak show of the highest order. Watch what he does. Watch what he does when he's asked the question. He looks down at his ledger. Oh, that's what I'm supposed to say. I can't stand him. I can't stand the Federal Reserve. I can't stand central banking. These are the enemy, people. Forget about how they try to divide us by every mechanism, because they can't let you focus on who the real enemy is. And it's central banks around the world. They're the enemy. They got to go down, but they're not going to. What they're going to allow to happen, and you know this, I've been beating this to death, they're going to allow, or they're going to incite, let's put it this way, another situation here during the presidential selection that people are going to go crazy. Violent protests, expect it. And expect them to use that as an opportunity to steal away more of our freedoms and liberties. They're giving people enough rope to hang themselves, and that's what the setup is. And I hope you see it like I do. All right? This guy here loves you a lot. I mean that from the heart. I hope you tune in for the live stream later. We'll cover what came out of its mouth, talking about Powell doing this whole thing later on today. It's unbelievable. Anyway, it's a freak show. Love all of you. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. I will see all of you 4:05 p.m. Eastern for the live stream. I hope to see you there, okay?